In this video, we're going to be talking about the integer wrapper class. Now, a wrapper class is not something we've talked a lot about before, but every primitive type has an object wrapper class that allows you to be able to use them in an object format. So why would we want to do this? There's many other examples, but for our situation, the place where we're going to see that is when we want an array list. Let's say we really want to put our ints in an array list and not in an array. So in an array list, we can only have objects. And so instead of having an array list of ints, we're going to have an array list of integer objects. And so we've got the syntax for making an array list. And what I want to do in this video is just look at each of the methods that are on the Java Quick Reference Sheet for the AP exam and make sure we understand how to use them. So this first one is a constructor. And so it simply constructs a new integer. You can see it in use right here. New integer 4, new integer 22, new integer 2020. This one is also a new integer. All of these got added into an array list, but you could also do something like this. Integer my num equals new integer. And you could say, okay, the integer I want is 52. And you've now just made, oops, there we go, an integer object. All right, so those are all examples of places where we've used the constructor. Let's clear out my markings on this. Here we go. All right, this next one, integer.min value and integer.max value, those return the max and min values. We've used those on occasion. They're right there on the quick reference sheet. So if you ever want to be like, I'm looking for the minimum or the maximum and I want to start with one of these values, you can just copy this code. This is a constant that's stored in the integer class. And we've got them right here where we just added them to onto our array list. And then the last step is to grab int value. So what this does is it takes an integer object and asks what is its value as an int. And we've got use of that right in here. So let's see, we did alist.getZero, which would be this integer object 4, and then we're saying, hey, get that int value, which is a 4. And then we're saying alist.get1, which is this one right here, get its int value, which is 22. We add 4 plus 22, we get 26, and we make it a new integer. And then down here, we've got our code for just printing them all out. And so integers, when we call on the system.out.println, simply prints the number. And so here we have the output for this code, and it's just like you would expect the numbers 4, 22, 2020. 4 plus 22 gave us 26, and then that min value, and just to remind you, that min value is negative 2 to the 31st, and oops, there's my pen. So negative 2 to the 31st, which is just over negative 2 billion, or under, I guess I should say. And this is 2 to the 31st minus 1. Why is it 1 less? Because we've got 0 in there as well. So 0 is that middle number, and it gets part of the positive numbers. And then all together, all of those numbers add up to a total of 2 to the 32nd, which makes sense because 32 is a power of 2.